Our next lesson, lesson 11, focuses on math functions. The math functions allow you to perform many of the common mathematical calculations, including basic arithmetic, conditional sums and products, exponents and logarithms, and the trigonometric ratios. In this lesson, we will take a look at some of the commonly used ones. The INT function returns the nearest integer to a number by rounding down to the integer part of the number, if it's a float, that is, a decimal. The syntax is as shown. It takes only one argument. It is important to understand that the INT function returns the integer part of a decimal number after rounding down, making it smaller than the original number. One consequence of this behavior is that negative numbers become more negative. So, while INT in bracket 10.8 returns 10, INT in bracket minus 10.8 returns minus 11. The INT function takes just one argument, value, which should be a numeric value. INT returns a value error if value is not a number. If value is already a whole number, INT has no effect. The mod function performs a modular arithmetic calculation, that is, it returns the remainder after division. The syntax is as shown. The mod function takes two arguments, dividend and divisor. Dividend is the number to be divided, and divisor is the number used to divide. Both arguments are required. If either argument is non-numeric, the mod function returns a value error. For example, mod in bracket 5, 2 returns 1, because 2 can divide 5 twice with a remainder of 1. The rand function returns a random decimal number between 0 and 1. The syntax is as shown. The rand function takes no argument, and it recalculates when a worksheet is opened or changed. For example, equal to rand open close bracket will generate a number like 0.422245717. The RANDBETWEEN function returns a random integer between two numbers. The result from RANDBETWEEN is automatic, and a new random number will be recalculated each time the worksheet is opened or changed. The syntax is as shown. RANDBETWEEN takes two arguments, low and high. Low represents the lower bound for the range of random numbers to be returned, and high represents the upper bound. RANDBETWEEN includes both the lower and upper bounds in the range of integers that may be returned. The round function is used to round a given number to the nearest whole number, or a specified number of decimal places. The syntax is as shown. This function takes two arguments. The first argument, value, is the number to be rounded, either up or down. And the second argument, places, is the number of significant figures to round the value to. The second argument is optional. If left out, the function rounds value to the nearest whole number. The sum function returns the sum of the values supplied. These values can be numbers, cell references, ranges, arrays, and constants, or any combination of these. Sum can handle up to 255 individual arguments. The sum function automatically ignores empty cells and text values, which makes it useful for summing cells that may contain text values. The syntax is as shown. As said before, sum can take up to 255 individual arguments, but only the first argument is compulsory. The SUMIF function returns the sum of a range if a single condition is met. SUMIF supports logical operators, greater than, less than, not equal to, and wildcard for partial matching. The syntax is as shown. This function takes three arguments. Range is the range to be tested. Criterion is the logical test to be performed or condition to be met. And sum range is the range to sum if the condition specified is met. This argument is optional. If left out, range is taken to be the same as sum range. SUMIFS works similarly to SUMIF, but unlike the latter, it tests multiple criteria and returns the sum of a range if the criteria are all met. SUMIFS can be used to sum values when corresponding cells meet criteria based on dates, numbers, and text. SUMIFS supports logical operators and wildcards for partial matching. The syntax is as shown. With SUMIFS, the first argument is the sum range, which is the range to be summed if all the conditions to be specified are met. This is followed by criteria range 1, the first range to test, and criterion 1, the test to perform on criteria range 1. Criteria range and criterion then repeat in pairs. That concludes the lesson on math functions. Move to the next lesson to continue with your training, and don't forget to practice.